China shocks the world. Cargo ships transformed into floating missile fields. China has once again sent shockwaves through the global defense community, following reports and satellite imagery suggesting that civilian cargo ships have been extensively modified into mobile missile platforms at sea. Vessels once dedicated to commercial logistics are now believed to be capable of launching advanced missile systems, a development that could significantly alter the balance of maritime power in the Indo-Pacific region. According to military analysts, these modified cargo ships are equipped with containerized missile launch systems that closely resemble standard international shipping containers. While outwardly indistinguishable from ordinary commercial cargo, these containers reportedly conceal sophisticated weaponry, including cruise missiles and potentially medium-range ballistic missiles. This approach, often referred to as containerized missile deployment, allows strategic weapons to be hidden in plain sight. This development aligns closely with China's civil-military fusion doctrine, under which civilian infrastructure can be rapidly converted for military use during times of crisis. By leveraging commercial cargo vessels, China could disperse its firepower across vast maritime areas without immediately drawing attention, greatly complicating enemy detection and targeting efforts. One of the most dangerous advantages of this concept lies in its element of surprise. Cargo ships operate along nearly every major global sea lane, blending seamlessly into normal maritime traffic. In a conflict scenario, these vessels could reposition quickly, transforming into mobile missile launchers capable of striking naval or land targets before disappearing back into civilian shipping flows. Strategists believe this approach reflects China's broader shift toward asymmetric warfare. Rather than relying solely on expensive and easily identifiable warships, Beijing appears to favor flexible, lower-cost platforms capable of delivering powerful strikes. This method could offset the technological and numerical advantages held by traditional naval powers such as the United States. From a technical standpoint, the modified vessels are believed to feature reinforced decks, concealed command and control systems, and secure military communications. Some reports indicate the presence of vertical launch systems that can be activated rapidly, enabling missiles to be fired with minimal preparation time before the ship resumes a non-threatening profile. These floating missile platforms are also thought to support China's anti-access/area denial A2/AD strategy. In a potential conflict in the South China Sea or around Taiwan, such ships could be positioned at key maritime choke points, forming overlapping missile coverage zones that restrict the movement of hostile naval forces without overt deployment of major warships. Another major concern is the endurance of cargo vessels. Designed for long-range commercial operations, these ships can remain at sea for extended periods and enter civilian ports worldwide without raising suspicion. This capability dramatically expands China's potential strike reach while complicating international intelligence and surveillance efforts. The development also introduces serious legal and security dilemmas. Under international maritime law, cargo ships are classified as civilian vessels. Once armed with missile systems, however, they become legitimate military targets, creating a dangerous gray zone. This blurring of civilian and military roles increases the risk of misidentification and could endanger global commercial shipping during any major conflict. Intelligence sources suggest that the missiles potentially deployed on these ships include long-range anti-ship missiles, precision land attack weapons, and possibly next-generation hypersonic systems. If confirmed, these platforms would pose not only a regional threat, but also a strategic challenge to forces operating far from Chinese shores. The existence of mobile missile fields at sea would severely strain enemy missile defense systems. Most defensive architectures are designed to counter threats from fixed land bases, aircraft, or clearly identifiable warships. A missile launch originating from what appears to be a civilian cargo vessel would drastically shorten warning times and complicate defensive responses. Beyond physical capabilities, analysts emphasize the psychological impact of this strategy. The uncertainty over which ships are armed creates constant pressure on adversaries. In modern warfare, psychological strain and strategic ambiguity can be as effective as direct military force. Domestically, China's massive shipbuilding and commercial shipping industries provide a unique advantage. With thousands of cargo vessels in operation and enormous industrial capacity, China could theoretically deploy this concept on a scale unmatched by any other nation. International observers warn that if such practices become widespread, the world's oceans could transform into a hidden battlefield, where the distinction between civilian and military assets becomes increasingly blurred. This evolution raises the risk of unintended escalation, especially along the world's busiest maritime trade routes. Although Beijing has yet to officially confirm or deny these reports, Chinese state media continues to emphasize the country's right to strengthen its national defense amid growing regional tensions and foreign military presence near its waters. What is increasingly clear, however, is that China's transformation of cargo ships into floating missile fields represents a new chapter in modern naval warfare, one that forces the global community to rethink long-held assumptions about maritime security. The strategic implications of China's floating missile platforms extend far beyond regional waters. Defense planners warn that such vessels could fundamentally alter naval rules of engagement, forcing adversaries to reconsider long-standing assumptions about threat identification and proportional response. In future conflicts, commanders may face the impossible choice of treating civilian-looking ships as potential threats or risking surprise missile attacks. This development also complicates intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance (ISR) operations. Modern naval forces rely heavily on satellite tracking, radar signatures, and electronic emissions to classify targets. However, containerized missile systems can remain dormant for extended periods, emitting minimal signals. A cargo ship carrying concealed launchers may appear completely benign until the moment a missile is fired, drastically reducing reaction time. Some analysts suggest that these ships could operate in coordination with China's broader naval and space-based assets. Integrated with satellites, drones, and maritime patrol aircraft, floating missile platforms could receive real-time targeting data without revealing their own positions. This network-centric approach would allow China to conduct long-range precision strikes while maintaining operational ambiguity. There are also concerns about escalation control. Because these ships blur the civilian-military boundary, any attack against them risks civilian casualties or disruption of global trade. In a high-tension scenario, a single miscalculation involving a suspected missile ship could rapidly escalate into a wider conflict involving multiple nations and critical sea lanes. Economically, the mere perception of armed cargo ships could impact global shipping insurance rates, port access policies, and commercial confidence. If major shipping routes are believed to host disguised missile platforms, insurers may raise premiums, while ports could impose stricter inspections, slowing global trade and increasing costs worldwide. From a doctrinal perspective, this approach reflects China's emphasis on strategic depth and survivability. Fixed missile bases and large surface combatants are vulnerable to preemptive strikes. Dispersed, mobile platforms hidden among civilian vessels are far harder to neutralize, ensuring China retains retaliatory capability even under sustained attack. Military historians note that while the idea of disguising weapons among civilian platforms is not entirely new, modern precision-guided missiles and global surveillance technologies make this iteration far more dangerous. Unlike past eras, today's containerized systems can deliver highly accurate strikes at extreme distances within minutes of activation. Western defense officials are reportedly studying countermeasures, including enhanced maritime domain awareness, AI-driven ship behavior analysis, and stricter tracking of container ship modifications. However, these solutions are expensive, politically sensitive, and difficult to implement without disrupting legitimate commerce. Ultimately, China's alleged conversion of cargo ships into floating missile fields signals a shift toward warfare defined by ambiguity, speed, and deception. Power at sea is no longer determined solely by visible fleets and naval tonnage, but by the ability to hide lethal capability within the fabric of global trade itself. As global tensions continue to rise, this development underscores a sobering reality. The next major naval conflict may not begin with warships exchanging fire, but with an unexpected missile launch from a vessel that moments earlier appeared to be just another cargo ship crossing the world's oceans.